Julian Assange is a lot of things to a lot of people. He is a truth teller, a journalist, a publisher, and a true courageous warrior for the people. He is the most persecuted publisher in American history and possibly the world. The U.S. government seeks to destroy this man because he exposed their corruption and war crimes. He stood up against their lies with documents that were verified, and in vengeance, they responded by attacking his character. By falsely accusing him, they attempted to destroy his reputation and character, and thus enabled the United Kingdom government to illegally detain him for over 7 years. If we do nothing to stop this violation of human rights and free speech, what happens to Julian will set a precedent for other journalists to expose through truth, and soon all we will have is government-controlled media and propaganda. It is so important that we as citizens have government transparency to show us what our government is doing behind our backs. Government corruption has run rampant in recent decades, and Julian Assange and WikiLeaks have made it known. In 2012, under threats of extradition to the U.S. and the possibility of being tortured, Julian sought political asylum in the Ecuador embassy in London. He has been illegally detained there ever since, without fresh air, sunlight, or proper medical care. Do you know why? Because our government wants to charge him with espionage for publishing the truth. On March 28th of this year, the Ecuadorian President Lenin Moreno issued a gag order for Assange, taking away his rights to internet, phone, and visitors. In essence, he is now in solitary confinement. According to the UN Nelson Mandela Act, anything over 15 days is considered torture. This has to end now. Julian Assange is being tortured for being a journalist and telling the truth. Mr. Assange has not been able to watch his young children grow up or be there in the capacity a father wants to be for their beloved children. He has been without family for just as long. This is cruel not only to him, but to his kids and his loving mother. As a mother myself, I can tell you how it hurts to see your children suffer. Christine Assange has been a stronghold for supporters, denying herself in the process while supporting her son. We must end this family tragedy and give them a chance to grow and prosper as families should. Standing up for Assange isn't just about one man. It is about free speech and free press. It is about a violation of human rights to an individual who could be me or you at any time. Allowing the persecution of a publisher and journalist sets a precedent for future truth tellers. It enables our governments to inhibit free press and our right to know. If we allow them to destroy one, eventually they will destroy them all. We will only be seeing government propaganda that is fed to us. We will all live in a faceless state where all our rights do not exist anymore. Do we want this for ourselves and future generations? The answer is simply no. By silencing Julian, they are silencing you. We must demand his persecution end today. Julian is the voice of the people. Assange is an example of integrity and courage. He stood up to the most powerful government in the world and didn't back down because of their threats of harms. We cannot let this man slowly fade away. We must stand up and say enough is enough. We must demand that Trump drop all charges in the grand jury against Julian Assange or issue a preemptive pardon in order to free him. We must supply him with security to protect him against those who seek to destroy him. When our government doesn't realize is that by coercing Ecuador into gagging Julian Assange, they made our movement even bigger, and we are taking it to the streets all over the world, and we will continue this movement until he is free of his bondage in the embassy. We will stand and fight. This is my message to President Trump. Sir, I believed enough in you to vote for you in 2016. You stated 150 times that you loved WikiLeaks and its editor, Julian Assange, yet you have done nothing to help this man or free him in a year and a half. There is no excuse. Sir, this disgusts me and makes me feel like I voted for a hypocrite. You have kept many of your promises, but this promise is to the First Amendment rights to free speech and free press. You vowed to uphold the Constitution. Please do so. You also claim to be a humanitarian who stands for human rights for individuals, as seen in previous actions by you. However, this man has been illegally detained for almost 8 years without fresh air, sunlight, or proper medical care. He has not seen his children since before this terrible atrocity took place, and he was framed by the Swedish government as now is being held against his rights by the United Kingdom. He has been in solitary confinement imposed by the President of Ecuador since March 28 of this year. Sir, this is torture. I am asking you as a voter and an American, and have confidence that you will listen to the people crying out for this man. Please, sir, open your heart and help free this man with either a preemptive pardon or telling your Department of Justice to drop all charges, allegation in the grand jury against him, and also WikiLeaks. Thank you, Mr. President. To Julian Assange, we will not let them destroy you, nor will we forget what they have done and are doing. We will fight for you and your staff until the day the persecution ends and you are free to live your life and prosper. Thank you for all you do for truth and justice. We truly love you, and we are fighting for you.